A very good afternoon, morning, evening, depending where you are on this globe. I'd like to welcome everybody to already the second app webinar that we're organizing. This time we're going to do it together with Justuno. Just before we get started, there are a few announcements I would like to make. If you have any questions, you can ask them in the panel on the right. You can ask them all the way throughout the webinar and even after it, but we will only answer your questions at the end of the webinar. And tomorrow you will be able to view this webinar again on salesshop.com or now going to the resources and then webinars heading. So let's first introduce ourselves. My name is Robin DeWitt. I'm product marketer at Sales Shop, and together with Corey, Vice President of Sales at Justuno, we are going to show you the Justuno platform. The goal of these app webinars is to give you an insight into the possibilities of the many possibilities that there are with the apps that we have on the Sales Shop platform. Let me just give you a quick introduction of Sales Shop and our ecosystem. For those that are not familiar with Sales Shop, we provide a cloud-based e-commerce software with more than 8,500 customers. And currently, we are the market leader in the Benelux. We got offices in Germany and in Norway, from which we manage the Scandinavian and German-speaking markets. Our philosophy as a company is that as an entrepreneur, you can only be successful if you focus only on the things that you are good at. So for this reason, we have built an ecosystem around us with experts, and this is what is reflected in our app store. Well, what is our app store? So as an e-commerce merchant, you'll probably make use of different software besides the Sales Shop platform. This could be software such as ERP systems, email marketing, or accounting software. An app, what it is, it's basically a generic connector with any type of these systems. But it actually goes a step further. In the Sales Shop App Store, you will be able to find a countless amount of expansion possibilities that allow you to run an online business or create a unique shopping experience for your customer. Currently, we got 100 plus apps available in our App Store, and they are able to generate traffic, optimize conversion, stimulate customer loyalty, integrate your web shop with social media, or automate certain business processes. So to sum it all up, what these e-commerce apps can do and what they are generic and affordable software solutions that can be connected, plug and play, to your Sales Shop web shop, which can save you time. It can generate a unique customer experience, or it can help you generate more revenue. One of these app integrations that we have in the Sales Shop App Store is the Justuno app. And throughout the next 30 minutes or so, Corey is going to show you around through this app and let you know what you can do with it.
Okay, well, Robin, I appreciate the intro. You guys have been some great partners over at SEO Shop, and I appreciate you guys allowing me to introduce my company, Justuno, and our offerings to your customer base. We actually have hundreds of users that we've earned from SEO Shop. So right now we're on hundreds of websites throughout Europe. And basically, I'll show you what we do. It's something that we've dubbed on-site social incentives. If you break that down, on-site is a tool that is used almost exclusively on your own website. It's not an outside tool. And then, of course, social incentives, where incentivize people to perform some sort of social action in exchange for something. So I'm very excited to be here. It is 7 a.m. here in San Francisco. We've had some gorgeous weather, around 20 degrees Celsius for the last week or so. I can't say so much for our friends over on the east coast of the United States or in Europe as well, but I'm very glad to be here. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, just a few quick things. If you have any questions, you may chat at me. I might not see them until the very end. I know Robin's going to help me with that as well. But if you have any issues, like you're not able to hear me, I'll do my best, and maybe Robin can help me out with that as well. But so the name of the session is Using Incentives to Increase Email Subscribers, Social Fans, and Sales. And again, my name is Corey Snow. I head up sales for Justuno. So real quick about us. We're based in San Francisco, founded about 3.5 years ago. The company was founded by former retailers, snowboard company actually, and marketing professionals as well. And we have about 20,000 retailers on the Justuno platform, so we've got thousands of customers. And we're in over 35 countries. More importantly, though, we're a company that is prides itself on its support and service. We pick up the phone, we work with our customers. We're not just some app that exists in an app store. We're more than that. We position ourselves as a service, and like any service, we provide good customer service. So enough about us, though. I want to talk to you a bit about what you're doing. Of course, right now, I'm sure that you're spending a lot of money to drive traffic. What are some of the things that you're doing right now to attract traffic to your site? I want you just to take a moment and kind of think of, 2, 3, 4 things that you're doing right now to drive traffic to your site. You're probably putting a good amount of money into that. But are you doing things like SEO or SEM? Or are you spending a lot of money on Google AdWords? What about some more sophisticated things like ad retargeting through a company like AdRoll? Maybe some social marketing. Are you doing Facebook ads or maybe Twitter ads? Anyway, point being, there are a lot of things that you're doing to drive traffic to your site. What are you doing right now to capture that traffic, to turn them into a customer, of course, but also into a social fan or email subscriber? And that's a bit about what I'd like to speak with you about today, is about capturing more of that traffic. You're taking all this time, money, and effort in driving traffic to your site. We want to help you capture more of that traffic, turn them into fans, turn them into subscribers, so you can then remarket to them through social channels and through email channels like MailChimp or whatever email service provider you happen to use. Now, on-site marketing. This is, believe it or not, a relatively new concept. A lot of people focus so much on driving visitors to the site that they think of it as an afterthought. So what Justuno does is on-site marketing. Some fun facts I always like to throw out. Most of the people that come to your website, 97% or more, will simply come to your website and leave without leaving any personally identifiable information with you. So that means, almost everybody, 49 out of 50 people that come to your site are simply leaving without leaving any information. We have to change that. Another fun fact, 55% of all shopping carts, that is, people that have put something into their shopping cart, leave without purchasing. And of course, my favorite factoid, for every $10 that people spend on driving traffic to a website, only $1 is spent on technologies that help convert that person into a sale or a follower. So again, that's, for every $10 you spend on SEO, SEM, affiliate programs, AdWords, ad retargeting, only $1 is spent on taking the traffic that's on your site and converting them into a sale or a fan or a follower. I think that's crazy, and I think that you'll be able to see why once we show you some of the stats behind Justuno. So what is Justuno? Well, I'm going to show you a couple of quick examples here. These are some great examples. We call this our hero reel. These are some out-of-the-box and custom CSS examples that allow you to really capture the visitors and turn them into fans. Now, the point is, we don't want to simply get them to come to a website and submit their email address. Sure, that's effective, but we also want to engage them. This is about engagement. This is about getting them to like us as a company. So let me show you a couple of quick examples here. So this was done all through Justuno's native designer. This particular company is trying to capture email addresses and Facebook fans. Kensington, a good bag manufacturer here in the United States, they're simply trying to boost their email lists. Serengeti, you'll notice that we're matching the branding of the site, and this is all done through our native designer. So you can actually make it look like your site. This company simply trying to grow their Facebook fans, so like us on Facebook for $5 off your next order. And then you can really make it match any site's branding. This is a little bit of custom CSS work for a 50% off now. Submit your email address. Those are just a few examples of what can be done with Justuno. It looks like we might have a question here. Just one moment. Nope, sorry about that. So what is Justuno on-site promotions? There are about 5 key product features. I'm guessing that you've gone to a website recently and seen a pop-up. Of course, who hasn't done that before? But what you'll note, a lot of these pop-ups are generic looking. They look the same no matter what website they're on. What we give you is the ability to make it match your site's branding. So we want it to be engaging. We want it to be likable. A pop-up is kind of boring if you don't do anything interesting with it. And especially if the pop-up itself looks like the same pop-up on any other site. But you can take a half a dozen examples of Justuno, and every single one of those pop-ups will actually look different. And that's because of the native designer within our system. We also do something that's been hugely popular called exit offers. I don't know if anybody here is using abandoned cart emails. Essentially, whenever somebody puts in their information and leaves without purchasing, there's a technology that allows you to follow up with an email. This is a little bit different, but in the same category. We're trying to get somebody who's trying to leave some information and maybe even check out today. So we use something called exit offers. And whenever somebody tries to leave the browser plain, as if they're trying to X out or leave the site, bam, we pop open an offer. And that offer is specific to that person based upon their behavior. So I'll show you an example of that in a moment. We also do gated content. So if you've got a valuable YouTube video or a PDF download case study, you can actually gate that behind an email address or behind a Facebook like. We also got into something relatively recently. Just a few weeks ago, we debuted our forms and surveys solution. So our forms and survey solution, you take a review system or a form system, even in native MailChimp, for example, you can create a form, take that embed code, drop it directly into Justuno, and bam, you have an incentivized form. Now, what's the difference between a form and an incentivized form? Well, for example, and I'll show you an example in a moment. For example, we can actually have fill out this short form to get 10% off your next order. Instead of just saying, hey, fill out this survey, you're saying, here's a 10% off coupon if you fill out this survey. So we're about incentivizing people to perform these actions. And of course, you can also do things like sweepstakes, content tests, grow your email list, for example, and or grow your Facebook audience in exchange for something. And we'll be seeing examples of all that. So those are our 5 main on-site promotions features. We've got standard pop-ups, we've got exit offers. There's a company called Bounce Exchange. Bounce Exchange charges $3,000 US a month minimum for this technology. We actually include it with our Justuno platform. Gated content, you can do forms and surveys, and sweepstakes. All of this is incentivized. We're incentivizing someone to perform these actions. And that is a big difference between what we do and simple pop-ups that you've seen on many sites. Now, in addition to just popping open, it's the control. I mean, we've got a great looking designer, which I'll show you in a moment, but the control is most important. And what I mean by that is we use something we call behavioral profiles. Based upon activity on site, we can pop open specific offers. So if somebody has come back to the site, they visit the site, they leave, they come back a few weeks later, we can actually pop open an offer specific to them. Or what happens after the 5th page load? Somebody's doing a lot of shopping, looking around at a lot of items. Maybe we want to show them a specific offer that will encourage them to check out today. Somebody that has visited 5 different pages on my website is most likely very interested in purchasing something. Why not give them the incentive to check out today? And also, if they don't check out, maybe at bare minimum, just capture their information. I'm guessing most of you are based in Europe. We do specific geo-targeting, so you can do country-based, zip code-based, and we have regions as well, states in the United States, for example. So we can do geo-targeting, and we can even do targeting mobile-specific offers as well. So the designer is great, but the control that you have with our tool is really what separates us from the handful of other guys out there. So this is one of our customers. I don't know if you've ever heard of Okabashi. Okabashi is a very good client of ours. They're actually all over the place here in the United States. They're at Walmart or CVS, at many drugstores. But they do sandals. They do these kind of comfy Japanese-style sandals here. And not only was Okabashi able to increase their email signups by 4x, by 4 times, they got a nice bump in their Facebook fan count as well. They also closed more sales, most importantly. So they had a 50% increase in the use of their promo code compared to when they simply gave it away on the home page. Now, let me repeat that real quick. The company, Okabashi here, had a 50% increase in the amount of people using the promo code on Justuno over simply having it listed directly on their home page. Now, why is this? Well, there's a psychological effect. When you require somebody to do something for a promo code, you're actually saying, hey, we're not just going to give away this promo code. We're not just going to put it on our home page just for the heck of it. We're going to ask you to do something to get this promo code. And if the person goes as far as doing that something in exchange for the promo code, they're more likely to use it. So in the case of Okabashi, we were able to help them with their sales conversions, get email, grow their email lead capture, and also their social fan growth. This is another one of my favorite customers. This is Todd Handler, who owns Hot Dog Collars, came to us, and these guys have had some real success with Justuno. Just so you can see what their product is, they're called Hot Dog Collars. And right there on the right, those 2 puppies are wearing the collars. These are branded with Justuno. I don't know if you can see that well, but Justuno collars we had made for, that's my dog there on the left, and that's the CEO's dog on the right. They look like dog models. But looks like we've got a question here. Just one. Okay. Listen, as Robin, if there are any questions in Dutch, then I'll have to get the translation. But so with Hot Dog Collars, as I was saying, they actually had so much success with Justuno and increasing their conversion rate that they actually had to turn it off. And what I mean by that is Todd, the owner of Hot Dog Collars, didn't believe the 67% increase in their conversion rate that they got with Justuno. So he turned it off for a couple days. And you know what happened? His sales conversion rates immediately dropped when he stopped using Justuno. And this is because when you do a creative, engaging offer on your site, whether or not they check out today or tomorrow, we still want to capture their information. So he made a very engaging pop-up that captured those people's attention and turned them into fans and followers. So not only did he get a 58% increase in email signups through Justuno, he also was able to increase his sales conversion by almost 2/3. So we were able to help him with his sales conversion and his email lead capture. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple quick Dutch examples. I just kind of threw these together last night. I'm sure there's some better examples out there, but let me just go ahead and play that. These guys have done really well with us. But of course, we work in any language, and natively we can match your site's branding. In this particular example here, I was sharing on Google+. This helps with SEO. Even though people don't really use Google+, if you follow a company on Google+, it helps with SEO. Of course, there are a number of ways to use it. These are all what I call out-of-the-box functionality. That is to say, there's nothing special done here. Basically, you can design any one of these widget examples with just a few minutes of design work, and of course, you have to create the promotion itself. The promotion, this is like any typical promotion you might be doing. That is to say, you might already have promotions that are very similar. What we're doing is giving you the format to which you can show people the offer and then asking them to perform something. This particular company, I think we've helped them earn thousands of Facebook fans and emails. I've always liked this site, Snowboard Store. As I was mentioning earlier, our CEO got started in retail, online retail, and he did a snowboard store for a number of years. This company, Sport Bay. Anyways, I just wanted to show you a couple of examples of Justuno in Dutch, and just so you can kind of see what some of your peers are doing. Now, I mentioned exit offers. This is a good example. Basically, an exit offer is a technology that some companies are charging thousands of dollars a month for. We actually include it in our technology that works just as well as those companies. The company in particular is called Bounce Exchange. Now, I'm shopping here on that site. I go to exit the site, and bam, immediately a specific offer that says, before you leave, how about 10% off of everything? Of course, the purpose there is to capture the attention of the people, but also to require something from them. So what if I just capture their attention and that's it? Well, that's fine and dandy. We say, hey, here's a 10% off promo code. Excuse me. But what we really want to do is capture more of those people so that we can then remarket to them through email marketing and through social marketing. But that's a technology we call exit offers, hugely popular and hugely effective. A great way to use it is on the cart page. So if somebody gets to the cart page and they try to leave, bam, we hit them with a specific offer that will hopefully encourage them to check out today. And if they don't check out today, bare minimum, we want to capture their information so we can remarket to them. So here are a couple kind of basic examples. This is email lead capture, sweepstakes, and gated content. This particular company, Tower Paddleboards, was doing a, let me see if I can make this bigger. Oops. Sorry about that. So this is just a standard email capture. Let me see if I can make this bigger. And this is all done with the native designer. There's nothing special. You don't need anything, any design skills to use Justuno. You can really make it match a site's branding, so a very different site from the last site we just saw, so you can make it match a more serious site, in this case Watch Warehouse. Their goal was simply to build their email list, a hugely popular way to use Justuno. This is a French site called SoShape. They do kind of vitamin products. And of course, point being that it really kind of matches their site's color and their branding quite well. This particular company was on a TV show called Shark Tank here in the United States, a hugely popular show, and their goal was to grow their email list. So they created a contest to give away an inflatable paddleboard, and they were able to capture in a few weeks' time over 10,000 emails through this contest. What did they have to give away? Well, they gave away an inflatable paddleboard, so that cost them probably a couple $100. This particular company here was giving away a signed baseball to a famous cartoonist here in the United States, but they actually were doing a contest as well. And again, email marketing is the most effective, so we always encourage starting with email and then branching out to the more popular social channels and taking it from there. And in the next example, this is just a cool little product. It says free garlic cookbook. So this is an e-recipe. So this is a giveaway. It's a digital giveaway. And the goal is to get people to want your garlic cookbook, which is a PDF essentially. And so you can actually do, and this is another example of a recipe cookbook, but you can actually gate content. So you can show them the content right after they perform the action, or you can send it to them through email marketing, and depending on which way you want to do it. In this case, it looks like the ebook will arrive in 24 hours or so. But again, these are just some out-of-the-box examples of Justuno that I wanted to share with you. Oops. Sorry about that. And then finally, just a couple more examples. And I like showing examples because you can really wrap your brain around the different ways that it's used. Bon Jovi, the rock star, actually uses Justuno. And he basically wanted to sell more merchandise. So they were simply trying to grow their Facebook audience and their email audience as well. Ruby Tuesday, popular restaurant here. You can do in-store promotions. So online, they get a promo code. They can bring it into the store and use it in the store. But we do want to capture their attention in creative ways. This is our little character guy here, and we have him sit out on the side of the website. You want to capture their attention so that they actually engage with it. And that's why doing something cute, funny, engaging, sexy, seasonal is really important. You want to keep it fresh. Just like any promotion, you want it to be engaging and you want people to participate. We saw this example already. And then millennial companies actually love Justuno because of the pretty awesome and creative things that you can do with it. Let's make sure. So this is all done with our native designer. And of course, you do have to upload images to be able to do this, but this is out-of-the-box functionality without any custom work. And millennial companies, they get social. And so when they try to build their Facebook fan count or their Instagram following, they're really just trying to build the amount of eyeballs on their products and services. So we're not just trying to capture them, we're trying to get them to like you. We're trying to get them to submit their information, and when they do, that's basically them saying, hey, I trust you guys, I like what you're selling, I like what you're doing, and I'd like you to send me some information via Facebook or via email. Okay. Now we're running out of time, so I'm just going to take you on a quick tour of our dashboard. I would like to perhaps craft one with you. We have account executives that can give you a walkthrough if you would like a personal tour. But here's our designer where you can create your campaigns, or your promotions essentially. And these exist on your website as unique promotions. So you can have multiple promotions on your site at the same time. For example, you could have a general 10% off on your homepage, and the goal is to simply capture those visitors. And you can have an exit offer on your cart page. So if they try and leave your cart page after having a certain amount in their cart page, you can actually pop open an offer specific to them. And the native designer, which we're looking right here, really kind of an easy way to control what it looks like. And then most importantly, the targeting rules, the behavioral profile rules that allow you to show specific offers to visitors based upon their behavior. So we have the designer, the targeting rules, behavioral profile rules, and of course the analytics behind all of that. Now, just to let you know, I don't know who you're using for email marketing, but we've got literally thousands of MailChimp users, Constant Contact, Bronto. I'm sure you've got your favorite email marketing. But for e-commerce partners, SEO Shop has been a great partner of ours. We've got hundreds of SEO Shop users successfully using Justuno at the moment. And of course, we integrate with all of the major social channels: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. A couple quick notes. Email is the highest converting channel right now, floating around 7% conversion rates over the lifetime value of that customer. So for every 100 people that submit their email address to you, 7 of them over time will actually become customers. This is great statistics there. Now with the social channels, it's a little bit less. Facebook, believe it or not, still has the highest conversions, floating around 4%, whereas all the other social channels float between 2 to 2.5% conversion rates. So over the lifetime value of a Facebook fan, 4 of them will become customers, and that's what I'm referring to in terms of social conversion rates. But point being is we integrate with basically all the major channels that you would want to integrate with, and we're always adding new ones. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up to questions. This was meant to be about a 25-minute presentation, so hopefully I didn't take up too much of your afternoon. But I just wanted to first thank you for your time today. Here's our little San Francisco office party. We also have a small office in Austin, and that's me on the right holding a Justuno towel. But we do have a very good free account that allows you to check out the features, to see what is available through Justuno. It doesn't require a credit card, so you can sign up today. And if you are interested in using Justuno, it's a month-to-month service, no contracts. So you can use the promo code for 25% off of Justuno, and this is a better promo code than you would receive on the website. But at this point, I want to thank you for your time today, and I want to open this up to any questions we may have. Let me go ahead and switch over to the GoToWebinar control panel.
Okay, Corey,
Rob,
thank you very much for that presentation. If you want to, I'll ask you some questions, and
sure.
we can see how you do with them. So the first one that I have over here is, do you have any examples of multilingual websites?
Okay, maybe we received that question before I showed you some of the Dutch examples, but I can go back. Basically, Justuno works with any language. There might be some fonts that we don't have, but for the most part, you can use it in any language. We're in over 35 different countries, so we've actually lost track of that number.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yes. But what I really think that Gilles is trying to ask here is, for example, what happens if you have a site that's both in English and in Dutch? Does Justuno switch between the two languages?
Thank you. You would actually have to have 2 promotions within your Justuno account, one for Dutch and one for English. And then based upon the geo-targeting, so you could say, if visitor happens to be from North America, then show this specific offer. Everywhere else is in Dutch, just as an example. So you would actually create 2 promotions. It doesn't auto-translate for you at this time. Not a bad feature suggestion, but I think it's just, with languages being so different, I wouldn't rely upon Google Translator to do that.
No, I assume you're right. I think that answers that question pretty well. Then there's another one. Are there examples of web shops who don't use discounts but are still successful?
Yes. So there are a good number of companies that don't use discounts, but reality is even the companies that say they don't discount tend to do promotions or clearance sales or some sort of spring sale. Most companies do have those types of promotions. Those aren't technically straight discounts. So you can actually use Justuno without a promo code at all and just do for example, submit your email address to our newsletter for ongoing deals. And so what that would do is, bam, pops open a kind of a request for email address. It says, hey, for ongoing deals, please submit your email address. Then the email is captured. It goes directly into your email marketing system. And then over time, you're just sending out your regular newsletter emails that say, hey, we've got a spring sale on our winter gear. So additionally, you can give away PDF downloads. You can do gated content. YouTube videos, gated YouTube videos have been pretty popular. There are a number of ways that you can use it without a discount, but that is a pretty common strategy. I'd say about 20% of our users are not using any sort of discount code when using Justuno. To be fair, most of them do use some sort of discount code, though.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, and then there are a couple of questions regarding the training of the customers, which is as follows. What are the risks of customers being trained to get discounts? As in, what is the risk of them getting used to just getting discounts and leaving on purpose? What can you say about that?
Sure. So that is a legitimate concern, especially if you've got small margins. For example, there are certain business models that work out really well with Justuno. So anything that has regular customers, whether that's vitamins or certain types of services, any time where somebody's going to be coming back on a regular basis. Anything community-based, specific hobbies, paintball, for example, those people come back again and again. Where the risk is having promotional codes on your site is you don't want to cut into the margins too deeply. So you want to make sure that the promotion is in line with what you're willing to give away to get a sale. So if you train people to get a discount and you have the same promotion on your homepage over and over and over again, every time they come to the site, they're going to use a promo code, right? With Justuno, you don't have to show that promo code every time that visitor comes back. In fact, you can actually set it so that only new visitors see the promotion. So through our targeting rules, we can actually prevent people from seeing a promo code over and over again. And maybe you do want to mix it up, and maybe quarterly or twice a year you allow everybody to see it. But for the most part, you want to block people that are returning from seeing that promotion. So through the targeting rules, that can be prevented. But you also want to consider that you don't want to give away the bank. If your margins are tight, don't give away a big promotion. Electronics and gadget stores, their margins are very tight because of competition. So, for example, they don't want to give away 10, 20% discounts. But what you can do is give away other things like free shipping. That's one of the #1 reasons why people abandon carts is they have a price in mind. They get to the shopping cart page, and then all of a sudden they do the shipping and handling, and then the price goes up 20%. You can actually build that into the cost of the product, give away free shipping, and that'll be a good way to not discount directly. It's kind of an indirect discount, if you will. I hope that answered your question. It was a kind of a roundabout answer.
I believe it does. Otherwise, I'm sure we'll hear from our audience for some clarification. Corey, are you familiar with the Loyalty Line app?
Yes. Is it a specific company or just loyalty programs?
No, it's a loyalty. It's an app that we also have in our app store, and it allows merchants to have a loyalty program for the customers. One of the attendants is asking, so what's the difference between a loyalty program and Justuno? Because the loyalty program also works with pop-ups. Could you maybe?
Yeah, and so, sure. I think I understand the question. So, loyalty programs generally are based upon collecting a certain number of points before you get a reward. That is kind of the main gist of any loyalty program, a rewards program, rewards card, whatever you want to call it. That's a good model, and some companies employ that effectively. We don't do that. We do something different, which is real-time, on-site social incentives, where the person, whatever we're asking of them, they get the reward right away, which encourages them to check out today. So the difference is a loyalty system requires you to make several purchases over time before you build up enough credit to when you then get a discount. What we want to do is say, hey, you don't have to check out a bunch of times to get those points. Just go ahead and do this, perform this social action, submit your email address, and we'll give it to you right away. And again, that elevates the importance of that particular promo code, so they actually think, oh, this is something that they don't just give away to everybody. This was actually something valuable. So then psychologically, they're more likely to check out.
Okay, but also I think what the question, what the attendee would like to know is, since the loyalty program also works with pop-ups, and so does Justuno, could there maybe be a conflict of interest over there, and that maybe the pop-ups would become annoying, or is there any way to prevent that from happening?
Well, one, with custom CSS work, you can actually embed Justuno into a web page, so you don't have to use a pop-up, though pop-ups are more effective, especially if they're engaging, funny, seasonal, creative. But yeah, you can make it, there can be some instances where there's too many pop-ups on a screen. You go to some websites that are poorly designed, and sometimes they have so much stuff going on on the website that you can't really, tell where you should start. So yeah, it is something to consider. You want it to look good. You want it to be non-invasive. I don't know about you, but I don't really do loyalty programs, even though I shop online all the time. Some people are really into that. So basically, the people that will sign up for a loyalty program tend to do loyalty programs everywhere, and that's a certain type of customer, a discount seeker. We're trying to be more general and not just capture those people, but anybody that comes to the site. But yeah, absolutely, you want to make it match your site. You don't want it to conflict. You don't want them to overlap, and you want it to match your site's branding. And I can, if somebody is very interested in seeing how this would be done, I don't have easy access to them right now, but I do have a number of examples of where pop-ups, our Justuno pop-ups, look really good with other pop-ups. And, for example, you could set them to the side, to the right, make them match, and one says loyalty, one says instant discount. That would be Justuno. And so I do have some visual examples I can send along if anybody's really interested in how that would be done.
Okay, well, if anybody's interested in receiving them, I believe Corey has his email address on this slide. Yes, he does. Feel free to contact him, I assume you're allowed to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's a bunch of questions still. I'll try and go through them, group them. So we can we can start rounding it off. Let's see. One concern is for people is that people might fill in a false email address just to get the discount. Is there any way to make sure that they only fill in a valid email address, or is there no way of validating it?
So there's two things that we can do. Currently, our system doesn't check against any master database that says that this email address is actually valid. So we have no native functionality that allows you to check if that's a real email address. In our technology, though, of course, we're looking for, something at something.com. We're looking for a real URL. So somebody, in theory, could put in a fake email address, but you can actually set it so that the promo code is sent via email instead of shown directly on the pop-up. We know that people are more likely to check out if the promo code is shown on the pop-up. But some people don't want to do that, and they want to make sure that the email address they got is real. So what they do is they say, thank you very much, please check your email address, or please check your email for the promo code. So instead of showing it directly, which is actually, by the data, more effective, what they do is they require somebody to log into their account and check to get the promo code via email. In that case, they wouldn't be able to receive the promo code via email unless it's a real email address. So there's a couple ways we address it, but there is no, Justuno itself doesn't check if it's a real email address.
Okay.
Other than the basic, check. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I believe that's clear. Then there's another question. Is there any, can you use Justuno to also generate product reviews or just site reviews? Is that possible?
Yes, and that's a new functionality. I don't have an example, a video example right now, but let me go ahead and go back to the slide. Forgive me for... So right here, forms and surveys, if you're still looking at my screen, is one of the functionalities. So basically what you would do, you can actually create a form or survey in a system like Yotpo, Y-O-T-P-O, or SurveyMonkey, or what have you. And you can actually require a review or filling out a form or filling out a survey in exchange for the discount code. So it is possible, and basically what you do is you create it in that system and take the embed code and drop it into Justuno. There's a specific section. Now this is it's in beta, just to be open with you. We don't have a lot of documentation because it just came out a few weeks ago. But if anybody is really interested, we're looking for beta users to help us with this. But it's working out very well for some of our users currently. And yeah, so you can do that.
Okay, I'm just going to quickly answer the question from Trudy. She asked, if you install the app, can you get started with directly, or do you need to first sign up on the Justuno site? The answer to that is, as soon as you install the Justuno app in the Sales Shop App Store, you are required to have a Justuno account in order to link the Sales Shop platform with the Justuno platform. So to answer your question, yes, you do need to sign up on the Justuno site in order to be able to use the Justuno app effectively. Then Corey, I have another question for you.
Sure.
Is it possible to connect Justuno to Google Analytics, or does Justuno have its own analytics?
Justuno has its own analytics. Currently we don't directly integrate with Google Analytics. It's a feature that's been requested, but we haven't really executed that yet.
Okay, cool. Then there's another one. Aren't the pop-ups blocked by pop-up blockers?
No, and because it's basically an HTML snippet that exists directly in the website, in the web page, it actually will load coterminously so that it is not popped by pop-up blockers. Now, I don't know the technical explanation for that, but it is not blocked by pop-up blockers because it doesn't exist as a separate window. Which when there is a pop-up, often that is a separate URL that, through an ad exchange, for example, will pop open a specific ad based upon some sort of link being triggered. So it is not affected by pop-up blockers.
Okay, I believe that's clear. No, it does not get blocked by pop-up blockers. Then I would like to go back with you to the first question about the different languages, which seems to be of interest to the participants. They ask, is it possible to segment languages based on browser language or not?
So technically, I might have to check with my tech team how that would be done, but I believe, I don't want to give you a half answer right now, so I might have to follow up with that one. So for example, for the companies that have multiple sites in multiple languages, typically what we do is we install Justuno on each different country's website. So for example, there's a company called eGlobal. I think they have 9 or so websites in different languages. We have a unique instance of Justuno installed on each one, and then a unique language-specific, country-specific offer for each site. But in terms of changing the language based upon the language on the site, currently I don't believe that's possible.
Okay.
We'd have to create a separate promotion for each.
Okay, I think that also answers the question that was going to follow that one up. What happens if you switch languages on the site? Say you switch from the Dutch version of the site to the English version. Does the pop-up for Justuno app also change the language in which it is displayed? As in, can you do targeting and segmenting based on that?
Yes, you can, based upon the URL. I guess my question would be, when you have these two sites, a Dutch site and an English site, is it a different URL for each site?
It isn't specified, but say, and then I assume there is a different URL for the Dutch and English one.
Yeah, if there's a different URL, then that's very easy. If there's a switch between English and Dutch functionality in the website itself, we might need a workaround for that. But if it's a separate URL, no problem. We do that all day.
Okay, that's great. Just reading through one of the last questions. Okay, hold on. And it's also being asked, do you have any specific examples of a site that doesn't work with pop-ups and only with the, I believe you mentioned the custom coding that you are able to insert into the template editor? Do you have any examples of that at hand or not?
Let me see if I do. Let me pause this just for a moment. I'm going to have to look through my files. I'm going to pull up an example real quick. Excuse me. This is not the example I thought it was. But this is an example of it matching another pop-up. So you can see Justuno there on the right for 15% off, and then there's another kind of general social bar on the left. That's just kind of an example of two pop-ups on one site that match pretty well. I don't have an example handy If that person would like to leave their email address, I can probably send some examples. But yeah, it basically would require some custom CSS, and that custom CSS would allow you to embed Justuno directly into a web page as opposed to being a pop-up. The most common example would be a banner ad at the top of a web page. So on the home page, it would be a banner ad, typical banner ad side. It says something like, like us on Facebook for 10% off today, as an example. They would then click that. There's no pop-up involved at all. And then what happens is the Justuno widget will pop open. So instead of there being this tab thing hanging out, it would actually pop open, and you would then submit your email address or follow on Facebook. So I might have to get the email address and send the examples. I just don't have any handy at the moment.
Okay. Well, why not? If you just heard Corey, send him an email, and he's happy to show you some examples of websites that don't use, or that do use Justuno, but don't use pop-ups. Okay. Then there's a question about the Justuno package pricing. Is the Exit technology part of the normal subscription, or is it an add-on subscription? The Justuno site seems to imply that the Exit offers is an add-on, or is it all included in the package?
We do have an entire suite price. It is an add-on. So the base price for our service, just at the low end, is $10 a month. With all of the extra features turned on, it is $25 a month. So with exit offers in particular, depending on the volume of your site, it'll be probably around 20% of the cost of the subscription, so an additional amount. But yeah, it is an extra fee, and that technology is something we charge separately for.
Okay, cool. Well, one of the last questions, besides gaining email addresses, well, what else is a pop-up able to offer? Because because a pop-up really, it's only gaining contact. Can you do something more with it than make a sale and gain his email address? What are the possibilities?
Yes, so there are basically the main three ways that we help you are, of course, sales conversions, email list growth, and social growth. Now, there are things that I didn't really discuss in detail. Let me just take a quick look at them. So, for example, I'm going into our, hopefully this is live. Okay, yeah. So I'm going into our integrations. So with Facebook, for example, we can just get a standard like, which is just a thumbs up for that site. Or we could do something that we call Facebook Connect. Now, Facebook Connect is a much deeper integration into Facebook, and you can actually get the demographic information of the people that are connecting with you. And that demographic information can then be used to do Facebook ads. Or you can just profile your customers to see where your customers are coming from, what their age groups are, gender, things like that. We can also, through Facebook Connect, require a share. Now, with Facebook Connect, the share functionality allows you to get in front of more people that wouldn't naturally come to the site. So you can say, share us on Facebook for 10% off, as opposed to just like us on Facebook. Or you can even do a progression. So first time they require a like, second time they come to the site, you require a share. So there's actually some deeper functionality that I didn't really mention here as well. And looking at this example here, you can do a Twitter follow, or you can require people to tweet about your company and the offer to get the discount. So that's a little different. And so there's multiple options there. And then for the most part, they are follows, but there's some of the social channels that we integrate with.
Okay, well, let's start rounding it off. There are two more questions left from Roy. Um, and the first one is, why do you think this is the best way to gain email addresses? And are there any other ways, any alternatives to gaining an email database?
Right, so there are many different ways to grow your email list. I mean, the most common is the simple embedded email list collection, kind of the newsletter sign up that you see on almost every website. That's like the standard way to grow your email list. That combined with people that have shopped at your store. Now, of course, you should be collecting the email addresses of people that shopped at your store and then remarketing to them using your email service provider. So the reason why Justuno is better than a simple, submit your email address to the newsletter type of box is because you can use Justuno to be creative, engaging, and likable. But you're also incentivizing them at the same time. So there's two components that make it better. And this is why we're seeing about 4 to 10 times an increase in the amount of emails using strategic, personalized pop-ups. So let me just go back to our examples that we had, just so you can see that one more time. You could simply have a newsletter box that says, submit your email address. Most people won't do that unless they're really into the company that they're visiting. What we want to do is to be engaging in such a way that people like us, that there's something kind of cute, creative, funny, seasonal, sexy, what have you, and that we're using that to capture those people's attention. So two components. One, be engaging and likable. That'll increase the amount of email signups. Two, incentivize them to submit their email address. In this case, we're looking at a 5% off example. And those two things will make any standard newsletter box, it'll increase the effectiveness, 4 to 10x.
Okay, well, with that being said, there are no more questions left. I would like to thank everybody for attending. I would like to thank you, Corey, for presenting and sharing your knowledge of Justuno with us. I wish everybody a very good evening, or in your case, Corey, a good day. Any last words?
No, I really appreciate you guys over at SEO Shop. You guys have been great partners. We've gotten a lot of great customers, so I appreciate all the kind words that you guys say about us. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I can also introduce you to an account executive who can help you with products and features and plans and things like that. So feel free to send me an email if you'd like to get started. But thank you very much, Robin, and I appreciate your time today, and I hope you all have a great evening.
Okay, well, with that, we're going to close the webinar, and some of us are going to go home, others are going to start their day.